Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Matthew from Homestyle Customs. In this tutorial, I'm going to take you through our Stadium Series medal holders, and I'm going to teach you how to achieve this look in front of you here. I'm also going to give you some different options that you could use for the name area and take you through some of the other files that are included with the different nameplates. Aside from the top layer here, I'll also bring you through a tutorial on these keyhole hangers and how to install them on the back. This will be able to allow you to secure them to a wall using some panhead screws, which makes installation very simple and very secure at the same time. So let's jump into it. So you could see here I have a bunch of tabs open at the top, and these are some of the different files that are included. So the first one that we're looking at here is just a basic Engraved version. So all you would have to do is just add your text in the middle here. So just select your text tool, type out a name, choose whatever font you like, and that's pretty much it. You just have to convert this to outlines in Illustrator, and it's the same principle for the other applications as well. Normally when I do an engrave, I use green, just so the Glowforge app and other apps pick it up as a separate operation. So that's all you have to do for the engraved version. All you'd have to do is now save this as an SVG and import it into the Glowforge app or Lightburn, whatever program you're using. Okay, so that's the engrave, very simple. Next, we're going to show you the cutout name here. So this is going to be similar to the example I showed you with just the name here. And that's going to be the one I'm going to actually produce and show you how to put it all together at the end of this video. So for that, all you have to do, same thing as what we just did, is just add some text. So we're going to just use the same name, Michael. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And I'm going to switch up to the font to something like this, and very similar to the engrave. So we're going to have to do the same thing. We're going to have to create the outlines, and then to make it an actual cut, because right now, because it's filled, it's going to recognize it as engraved. So all you have to do is you have to flip it from a fill to a stroke, and then once you save that as an SVG and import it, it's going to be recognized as a cut, and you just basically cut the entire design. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to set this up and how to line everything up using this this offcut. We're going to actually reinsert it back in and use that as like a template for you to put the letters back in, which is very simple. And I personally like this method the best compared to the engraved, because engraved takes a little bit longer, and I also like it better to the next one I'm going to show you. So the next thing you could do for these as well is you'll see that this nameplate is a separate layer. So that's going to allow you to put a name in. So I'll choose the same name again. I'm going to just stretch that out. And you probably have experience doing this with other designs, but what you want to do is you want to actually make sure that these letters are over top of that actual inside nameplate, which is this here. So you can see how all those letters are now overlapping it. So what you want to do is just zoom out a bit here, just center that up. That text, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to create outlines, flip it from a fill to a stroke, and now that you have that name selected, go ahead and also select the nameplate. You can do this by holding the shift button down at the same time. So now you have both selected. You go to your Pathfinder tool, which is here, and you want to select minus front, okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to actually merge it with that nameplate. So when you cut it, you're not going to have to reinsert the letters back in. It's going to be all attached to the design, which is fine. It looks good. I don't think it looks good as the previous version we went over, but if you don't it's more of a process to reinsert the letters than this. So it's completely up to you. It's how you would like it to look. So I'm just going to reverse back here. And I think we're going to go with this one to test. And I'm going to show you how to use that offcut template. You'll also notice that on the top layer designs that these keyhole hangers are included. So I figured on one sheet you could just print everything at once. It's my recommendation for these that you use either acrylic or a wood face on it, just to make sure that these are secure. The wood I used for these is Pure Bond maple from Home Depot, which is 5.32 inches and which is about 4 millimeters. And I find that that's strong enough to hold a number of metals. And you could also try doing a top layer wood and a backing that's MDF. I find that that's also works well as well. So both options are there for you. But I'll get into the construction of everything in a bit. So that covers all the top layers. And then one more thing is this version is also included, and this is kind of the non-nameplate version, where you could even add like a message if you want, but it's meant to be just blank version. I'm thinking for craft shows and things where you're not able to add a name on the spot, you could print some of these and sell them as is without a name on them. So like a non-customized option. So let's get into the backings, okay? So you'll notice that there's two backings included, okay? This one here is just the regular backing. That's the same orientation as the backing. So you'll see that the player is on the same side. What I also included is a reverse backing that has these score marks. So basically, this will allow you to add these score marks to the backing of the back, which will allow you to place the keyhole hangers in the correct place to make it nice and secure and level on a wall. But I'll get into all this when I take you to the next part and I show you exactly how I put these together. Okay, so for this one here, it's a bit confusing, but I hope with the next video I'm going to show you, it's going to explain it. So when you do cut this reverse one, you would basically tape one side of your material and put the tape face down, so that the tape that's face down would be actually the front of the backing. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And then that just allows you to add the keyhole hangers in a perfectly aligned area, so it's nice and level on the wall, and you won't get any wobble that way as well. Okay, so I'm going to take you into the production part of this, where we're going to print this one out, and then we'll also do the reverse backing. Okay, we'll get into that now. Okay, so now that I have everything cut out here, so this is your top layer here. I went ahead and I removed the masking already. You'll see on the back I have the 3M tape. So when I go and put it on the top layer, I'll peel that off. These are the key ring holders, and I'll show you how those work. And then I also have the letters that are cut out here, and I have the template that I'm going to reinsert to add the letters back in, okay? Which is going to help line everything up, okay? Now just going back to the backing here, as mentioned before, so I cut it face down, so I added the masking that I was using to the bottom, and I cut it this way, and that enabled me to add the score marks here. So I'll be able to place the key ring holders in a perfect spot and make them aligned with each other so that they're not uneven. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off the masking off this one, because now this is the top now. So I'll speed this part up. Okay, so now that we have all the tape off here, you'll notice that this is the backing. This is just gonna sit on top, like so. Another thing I'll mention as well is for the top layer I used Home Depot maple, which is 532, which is about 4 millimeters thick. And then for the backing I just used an MDF that's 1/8, okay? And I've done testing and I found that this is strong enough to hold the metals. I did a lot of testing with the durability of this and some of the safety that's might be a concern when hanging something on a wall. So I took all that into account. So what I'm going to do is I'll be back. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stain the wood, which is the top layer, and I'm going to give this a quick spray paint on the back layer. And I'll be back to put it together. Okay, so we're back. Gave the top layer a quick stain here. Just painted the backer black spray paint pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to secure the top layer to the backer. I'm just going to remove the 3M tape on the back, and I'll speed up this process as well. Okay, so now that we have the top layer completed and the 3M tape has been removed, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place it on. So you're basically just lining it up with the backer, and that all looks good. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to firmly press it down, okay? So if you're using 3M, that's not moving, okay? And then for the letters, I'm just going to use this template. So I'm going to pop that back in, and then I'm going to stick each letter on. So remove the tape, or if you're using glue, just add the glue, and then just put these back on. And then if you are using glue, while it's drying, you could just leave them in this template here. And you can put a weight on it, and that should do the trick. Put that upside down. Two more. And then once we get these letters done, I'm going to show you the back quickly and how we're going to secure it to a wall. Okay, last letter. Okay, and then once those are all in, just give it a push it down a little bit. You could drop off that nameplate, and it'll just pop out like that. Give a piece of paper towel there. Okay, so top layer is done. Flip it around, and now you'll see that like these were all cut from the top layer, so they also have the 3M backer. If you want, you could use glue. It's up to you. But first thing you do is you want to put these together. So you're going to put this one on the other one. And what these are going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to use like pen head screws to secure it to a wall. So the screw will go into here and then it'll slide up, and then once it's up in that area there, it's not moving. Okay. A reason as well that these are so long, because I know that I include some smaller ones with other projects. When this is on the wall, it's going to be nice and flush against the wall, so it's not going to be able to like rock around. It's going to just stay flat, which is ideal for this product. Okay, so now that those are attached, you could go ahead and remove the backer. And you could just add those on. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the last one here. And what you're doing is you're just placing it right where those score marks are, right inside there. And the idea is that you want these to be perfectly aligned, so when you're adding the screws to the wall, you're basically just measuring it out and you're just putting them on the same level. So this is nice and straight on the wall. And there you have it. The project is complete. These are very fast to produce. And yeah, hope you enjoy them. You can find them at homestylecustoms.com. If you have any questions, find us on our Facebook group, and you can shoot me a direct message if you have any questions, or send a message through Etsy. Alright, thanks everyone.